All right.
Gentlemen, ready to go with the Facebook setup. So yeah.
Sounds good. Let's do it. I'm just going to pull up a little deck to kind of introduce us. We're just going to wait a little bit for Facebook. Oh, excellent. Hi, everybody on Facebook. So we are the YouLi team. So we are the best software for organizing group trips. And today we're actually talking about how to sell group trips with affiliates. So we're really focused in on a new functionality that we've built, which is to allow our clients who are planners, tour operators, travel retailers, inspiring coaches like Rachel to actually use the YouLi platform to sell through affiliates. So today we have our guest, Rachel Mango, who's the founder of her own business, Earth and Soul Adventures, and she's a coach and retreat planner. So we're going to hear more from her shortly. And I'm Jen Fine. I'm the co-founder and CEO and head of product of YouLi. So I'm really excited to be here to share with you our overall vision, which is to really be the platform for collaboration within the travel industry. So it's a grand ambition, and we're working our way towards that, especially with this feature. And this feature is especially targeted at sort of bringing in the sort of travel agents or affiliates within our worlds to sell the travel experiences that we have onto the travelers all in one platform with complete transparency. So, our vision has a lot of different pieces to it. And today we're focused in on the affiliates and the network piece of it. So rather than doing too much on the slide side, we're really going to jump in to talk about how this actually works. And before we do that, I actually would love to let Rachel introduce herself and tell us about the amazing experiences that she plans and organizes on YouLi.
Thanks, Jen. So as you guys know, my name is Rachel Gilmore, and I founded Earth and Soul Adventures while I was on an adventure myself. I have been coaching clients on mindset coaching for about 8 years now. Before that, I was big into the fitness industry, and I saw the need in the fitness industry of people coming to me to lose weight and get in shape. And there was a lot of things going on. And so it was just a natural transition into life coaching. And then as I began to grow and have personal development, I ended up becoming an NLP practitioner, which is reprogramming of the subconscious mind. And I love to travel and I love adventures. I have 5 brothers, so I grew up hiking, backpacking, camping, rock climbing, you name it, traveling, doing crazy things in crazy parts of the world. And so I just had this love for adventure, and I was backpacking through Southeast Asia, and I was on this little island in Indonesia with no cars. And I had a client that I was working with back here in the States. And we got off the coaching call. I remember very vividly, she had a pretty profound breakthrough that day on something we'd been working on for a while. And I said, I'd really love for you to just take some time to sit and journal and have an experience where you can integrate. And she said, I've got to fix my daughter dinner, then I'm going to take her to dance recital and all these things. And I got off the call and I'm sitting on this amazing island with, in pure bliss. And I'm like, I get to integrate what just happened. She needs to be here with me. And then this light bulb went off. And so I started doing some research on what it looks like to get people outside of their routine, outside of their environment, and in a beautiful destination, and what that would look like to work with them on transforming their mindset and their whole life on an adventure like that. And I also know how vital it is to push people outside of their comfort zone and to do things perhaps they've never done before. Because once you get used to that, and once that becomes a pattern and a habit in your life, then you can do it across all areas of your life. So I started sitting with, and I remember putting a post on Facebook, hey, if I offered a 10-day retreat to Bali, who would be interested? And from that one post, I actually filled up my first Bali adventure. So I came home from that trip, and that same year, I took a group back to Bali for a transformational adventure, and it was life-changing. And those people are still in contact and in community today, and we have a bond that's beautiful. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, I'm a coach, but now I'm taking people on adventures. Like, who am I and what do I do? And so I found the Transformation Travel Council, and then I found YouLi, and it all just has come together, you know, marrying my passion for helping people transform their lives with my passion for travel and adventure. And I was looking for a platform where I could share this and get my message out, because to my knowledge, there was a lot of people doing retreats, but I really don't do retreats, because I don't take people to a destination and we don't sit in the same space for 10 days. We're literally moving and going on continuous adventures. So I'm more of an experiential learner, and I like for people to have experiences, because then they have a point in their brain, a reference point that they can go back to. So I've been super grateful to find YouLi and to work with them, because now I can put everything that I do into one platform. I can bring everybody here. And so when they announced that they were doing affiliates, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. Because now I can have people who love what I do, past clients, or just about anybody, share and get paid to share. So I'm really excited. I just got started on the affiliate program. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. And I would love to hear actually some feedback, what some of you guys might be doing on the affiliate program, and what's working for you, because I think we're kind of all in this together at this point. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, Jen, if that's okay.
Sounds good. Yeah. I know we were talking about, you know, what do we say that you are? You're not a tour operator, you're kind of a retreat planner, but it's more than that, and it's different from that. And we find so many of our clients do sort of end up calling themselves sort of unique, giving themselves sort of unique labels, because what they do is quite different. But, you know, when we talk about this on the platform, we call our clients planners. So what Rachel is showing you right now is the planner view. These are the trips that she's planning. And she's put all that content into YouLi, and she can take direct bookings on these trips, like she was saying with the Facebook post. And she's already got a number registered on there. And then when she clicks into reports, she's going to show you the latest feature, which is the ability to see affiliate referrals. So we've put a few in here to show you how this is going to look. And so on the left-hand side, you'll see who it is that actually gave you that booking. And then when it was booked, the name of the trip and who it was booked for, along with their reference code, so that you can always search for that anywhere in the system. And what the total price was, the sale price, any balance due, and then the commission. So this is Rachel's view. And so she gets to see across all her affiliates. So she can search by affiliate, and she can export this data if she needs to. And so she can see across all affiliates. And I'm going to show you later what it looks like for the affiliate to see the exact same data, but only for their bookings. And here you can see where you know, the commission's only showing for one of those. That's because only one of them is fully paid. So it's one of those things that we sort of create a visual reminder that you haven't earned the commission until the booking's fully paid. So that's a quick one to show you what it looks like for Rachel when she's the planner, when she's the one who's actually running the trips, what she sees when the bookings come in from her affiliates. Any questions on that before we jump into how you actually bring in affiliates in? Ooh, how does Rachel pay the affiliate? That's a great question from Katie. So at the moment, that is still something that's managed outside the platform. We are going to be bringing more tools into the platform to track that you have paid them. But at the moment, it is based on a relationship that you have with your affiliate. So however you are going to be paying them. But I'd really be interested to see, as people adopt this more and more, if there's a consistent way that people tend to pay their affiliates, we could integrate with that. And the agreements is a great question. Actually, why don't we cover that one under accounts? So if we jump up to accounts and go and look at how she manages her affiliates under the affiliates tab. And now those of you who have a YouLi account, you will see this tab, but it won't yet be enabled. So if you are interested after this webinar, please open a ticket and we will turn this on for you on request. And so here you can see the affiliates that she's invited. She's got 2 accepted and 1 pending. And in terms of the agreement, that's something that she would have sent in the invitation, sort of a link to an agreement that they are going to sign on to. So that can either be to a terms and conditions. Ideally, this is going to be something that you do have them sign on to. And so I think, Katie, probably you have a lot of great advice on how to structure affiliate agreements. And I don't know if you have any quick tips for us on like the best ways to kind of draft an affiliate agreement.
Funny you should ask. I just finished drafting an affiliate agreement for a client 2 weeks ago because she has also just activated the affiliate program and is really excited to be able to have her tours available through other sort of tour providers or inbound operators to her destination. So it's a really solid move and a really great way to scale up the marketing. And the affiliate agreement piece is really just like we do need to have like a arrangement, right? On it's not just the commission and how the booking gets processed, but like, how perhaps do you want people to present your trips, especially if they're an influencer or they're like another tour operator, right? Because you don't want those people to be perhaps making, safety claims on your behalf, for example. Do you want them to be co-branded? Are you, there's probably some circumstances that need to just really be accounted for. And then I think with the payout piece still being very much outside of YouLi, that's where you need to be super crystal clear on when does the payment happen, right? Does the affiliate get their commission right when the person books a spot? And then what happens if that person cancels their spot? Sort of thing. What happens with that commission? Do you try to claw it back? Do they get to keep it? Do people get their commission only after the trip has actually been delivered? That's sort of my preferred model to look at is that way they went on the trip. You for sure got their money and you can pay out your commission to your bookers, after the process has been delivered. So just trying to look at the all encompassing, for lack of a better word, ecosystem, right? That is you, the affiliate, the client, and all the little pieces and processes that need to be accounted for, and just outlining it in a well-documented agreement. So it's just really clear upfront about what's allowed, what's not allowed, how things are going to work. And I mean, if that could be housed, right in YouLi, so that, Rachel, for example, could click on Heather Whisks here, and she could also read the agreement right inside the system. That would be really cool. And you can go snoop in on Boken, the Icelandic company turned TripAdvisor corporation. They have that mechanism in place in their software, and it's actually pretty sweet.
Ooh,
I mean,
I like that suggestion.
Again, because the goal is to centralize all of our information. So planners, right?
Absolutely.
Like Rachel can come to this one dashboard and she can look who's doing it, what's their percentage, where's their signed agreement, and it's just all there for her.
That's a really good suggestion. And so thank you, Katie. So Katie has lots of expertise in this area. She's been on a number of our webinars. So please do reach out to Katie Broadhurst if you want some more in-depth sort of input on creating affiliate agreements. But Rachel, if you just want to click on invite affiliate, we'll kind of walk through what data we do allow you to track at the moment. So you're going to enter their name. So here we're just doing a little test, inviting me as a new affiliate. And so you can either give them a code. So like if you want to name it for them, you can choose that, and then they can't, and then it's set for them. That really just depends on how you manage your stuff and if you like to control your codes. Otherwise, it'll be auto-generated for them based on their name when they sign up, and it'll be automatically created as a unique string. So just depends. Now that's not something customers will see a lot, but it is something that will be in the URL for those who like to poke around. And then you can see there's a commission note followed by a commission percentage. And as you can see, she sort of entered the same number twice. And the reason for that is because one is used by us to calculate the actual commission on that table like you saw, and one is a descriptive note. So sort of, for example, if you wanted to offer them 15% to begin with, and then, you know, with the offer to potentially ramp that up if more leads are brought, or if you want to qualify that in any way, you can sort of put that qualifying text in the note there. And then there's the invitation note. That's what's actually sent in the email that they get, inviting them to the platform to then accept the invitation. And so this is where you want to make sure, if you know, don't send this cold. People should be expecting this email. So be sure and you know, reference any conversation that you've had. Link to an agreement if it's not already completed, and yeah, just make it as friendly and inviting as possible there. So this is, you know, much like any email communication, it's important to make it clear that this was the email they were expecting. And then this is what goes to them. So your affiliate will see this text. And then there's an internal note below that, which you can leave for yourself. So if there's any kind of note that you want to put for your own purposes, things like this is just a test, you know, so obviously there's always little things regarding these relationships that you need to keep track of. So this is a place where you can to keep track of that. Yeah, exactly. So you might leave a note that you were sort of told them you might offer them 20% in the future. And then once she clicks add, that will actually send an invitation to the email address, and then it'll show as pending here. And she can always resend that invite by clicking the airplane, edit that, or delete that. So if at any time you dissolve an affiliate relationship, you can just delete them from here. It won't delete any of the data or any of the bookings that they have previously brought you. It just clears them out from being able to refer and track new bookings that come in. So that's kind of the quick rundown from the planner side. So we're going to just jump in, and I'm going to show you what it looks like as an affiliate who's received that invitation. And I'm also seeing, just quickly, Lori is asking if there's any best practices for the amount of the commission. And this is an excellent question. You know, I think commissions vary widely, but I would say it depends on how much work that person is doing for you and how good the leads are that they bring you. So I think Rachel is going to be working on a sort of 15% model to start. You know, you've seen 20% out there. If you have the margins to do that and you think it's a really good referral, you know, that might be something that's worth doing. I might suggest a lower amount if they're just kind of like a blogger who's just kind of referencing you in an article, but not actively sort of working that sort of customer and on the phone with them directly. So it's sort of like the difference between a travel agent might be closer to a 20% and a blogger might be sort of, you know, 5 to 10% or something like that. So there you go. Katie's saying that travel agents usually ask for 20 to 30%. So this is something you're going to be negotiating, and with each affiliate. So you did see, now Rachel had entered 15 for each of those. You can choose different amounts for different affiliates. So you don't have to have the same amount, the same commission structure for every affiliate. So you can reward those that are higher value, and you can have lower ones for the ones that are just kind of, you know, tossing you in a newsletter sometimes. So I'm just gonna share my screen, and you're gonna see what it looks like. Now this is me logged in as the YouLi affiliate demo account. So Rachel had previously invited me to be an affiliate. And so you'll notice the difference right away. See the trips I'm planning that you might have been used to seeing. There's this new tab that I get as an affiliate called Trips I Can Sell. Now remember that any planner can also be an affiliate. So Katie can be an affiliate for Rachel, and Rachel can be an affiliate for Katie. And so it's just a matter of which ones am I actually organizing and planning versus which ones can I sell on behalf of someone else. And then That also means that an affiliate can be an affiliate for more than one YouLi client. So they could actually potentially see multiple clients' trips here. So what you're seeing here are the 4 public and listed trips that Rachel has published. So she can take them off of here by simply unlisting them. And so the minute that she unlists them, they will stop being visible from the dashboard here, as well as being pulled off of your website. And so the first thing that people are going to want to do usually when they come in is they're actually going to want to look at the trip. So when they click on a trip, they can immediately see, oh, okay, yeah, this is the Tanzania safari, and they can learn more. So this is all the hard work that Rachel has done putting this together. And the great thing is that the affiliate doesn't have to do all of this content creation work, right? And they can simply click the share this trip link once they decide that it is the one they want to share with their client, and they can copy that link and it will automatically include their tracking. So this is my code, and that's automatically included in that link. So when I, as the affiliate, copy that and send that to my customer, and then they come and complete the booking process, it gets tracked back to this code. So one thing that I sort of skipped, you'll notice that it's still branded Earth and Soul Adventures because it is Rachel's brand. But one of the features that we offer is that affiliates, if they set their logo, so I'm just going to quickly upload a logo, a very creative, unique logo, company name, company. And we're going to save that. And then we'll jump back in and we'll go back to the Tanzania safari. And now it's co-branded. So we talked about that. Katie mentioned whether or not co-branding was something that would be allowed. So that's something you want to make sure you cover in your agreement with them, whether or not it is allowed. And then if it is allowed, they will need to make sure they upload their logo in their account in order for that to appear. So if they don't upload their logo, it'll stay yours. And if they do upload it, it'll have their co-branding there to make sure that the people that they're referring through understand, yes, this is the right place. This is the one that, that the company sent me to. So from here, it works very similarly to registration process. So I'm just going to put this in as a, YOLO. So this is me registering on the page that is tracked to this company. And so now when I click back to people, I can see that I have registered YOLO Forever. I can also see I actually have 2 other people that I've previously registered onto this trip. One of them is fully booked and one of them is booked in part paid. So I can see here, and I get the same kind of reports that Rachel gets for her whole trip. I get a mini version of that as an affiliate. I can see the ones that I sent through. So I can see that YOLO Forever has registered but not yet booked. And so I can actually click here and send a message. So I can remind YOLO that they haven't locked in their spots. If they really do want it, they really need to pay, or maybe to get permission from them to go ahead and pay on their behalf and then invoice them, depending on how the affiliate works that. So you'll see here, I'm sending from the YouLi platform as the affiliate. So this is not sending as Rachel, it's sending as the affiliate. But this uses all the same email templates, all the stuff that you know and love about YouLi, but it's all just put at the fingertips of the affiliates. They do the least amount of work, and we know that affiliates love to do the least amount of work to drive these people to book in, right? So I'm just going to pause there for a second and make sure, are there any other questions on that? Because I can't see the chat in this view at the moment. All right. Everyone's following along.
We do have a question from Katie about the specific dates. Is the planner able to allow an affiliate to sell just a specific date if there's many dates on the same trip?
That's a great question. At the moment, it is all of the trips that are public and listed would be available for your affiliates to sell. So there are conversations we're having about being able to have a bit of a more fine-grained control. I hadn't heard that idea of the dates, and this would be because particular dates sell out fast without the need for affiliates.
May I expand on the question? So my client, runs, 5 or 6 of this. She's an on the ground tour operator, right? So she runs, 5 or 6 of the same program kind of over and over and over through the season being December to April for her. And so she wants to be able to take like one date of program A and one date of program B and say, affiliate, you can sell these 2 trip dates, like kind of exclusively, like for your clients, for example, right? So from a very on the ground tour operator, right? Who in this case has the gear, the equipment, and the permits to the cabins and all that kind of stuff, right? She's looking to be able to take an Aurora trip and let an affiliate just sell that whole 6 spots on that date, that one trip, and fill it with their group of people, for example. So that kind of granular functionality of saying, this trip is sellable to this affiliate only, could be an interesting thing to explore in the future and be really
Rachel,
helpful.
do you think that would you ever do something like that where you might actually have certain trips you would only want certain affiliates to be reselling them? Do you think you would get to that point?
So for example, I have a girl right now who's reached out to me that asked me if I would do a specific program for just her and her group of friends. So in that case, I would create something specific for them. And then it may be that she has the affiliate link for that. But I don't know that I would exclude all the other ones for her to sell, but it might be that she just pushes that. She might choose to push that same one just out to her friends. It's kind of a thank you to her for bringing a group of friends.
Yeah, but on the converse side, if that trip is exclusively for that one client, you don't necessarily want all the other affiliates that you have in your system to have access to that trip and those dates either. Right?
Yeah,
like it still needs to be an exclusive date to that one girl, basically, right? So it can't be accessible by the rest of the affiliates. So there's some level of like filtering sort of, or like permissions access is the way that I'm thinking about it. In future could be super helpful. But from my tour operator perspective, my tour operator could basically then also do this like with Rachel, right? She's like, I've got this cool, like, Aurora camping thing set up, and these are your dates here, Rachel, right? Too. And from a tour operator to somebody who is a travel planner, to be able to just also collaborate and also coordinate the capturing of those, like, the registrations and the booking process. And it's like the ground tour operator has criteria that needs to be met, as well as Rachel might have criteria that needs to be met. So, also how do you kind of funnel through maybe those also like tasks, or like merge tasks between account holders a little bit too.
Yeah.
Sorry, taking this down a bit of a rabbit hole, but
absolutely. That's a good segue into kind of looking at the reporting from the affiliate standpoint. So on this side, so you'll notice that I'm missing the column that shows me the name of the affiliate because it's just mine. And so the planner will see all of the affiliates, and I only see the ones that I have booked in. And so I see Tammy and Toy. And again, this is the same data that Rachel was seeing. And so there's that transparency there. But there's this interesting one at the end here, which is tasks not done. So this is something where you might want to actually ask your affiliates to assist your travelers in completing their tasks as part of earning their commission. And especially if they are a travel agent, they might actually be the one who's booking their flight for them. And so it makes a lot of sense for them to be able to come in and click here to be able to then complete that on behalf of their client and to book the travel insurance, to book the flight details. Now, I think some of these things the customer still has to sign themselves in terms of the transformation and cancellation, but making it so that it's actually on the affiliate to chase that up and make sure that that gets done. And that's part of what you're paying the commission on, is sort of that piece of the management of the booking. And so it's interesting to think about if some of those tasks were actually tasks that were provided by the operator, and so they are very keen to see those completed. And I think that might be an additional level role here, which we could definitely get into, where they could actually collaborate on the trip and actually be able to control some of the tasks too. So I love this because that's really driving us forward towards, having that ability to coordinate across all the different players involved. But if you're thinking about it just in simple terms, as an affiliate, all you want to do is see, who's registered, have they paid, are they fully paid, which means I'm getting my commission, assuming they don't cancel before the event. And this one where, okay, yeah, I need to chase Tammy up if that's due. And you can quickly, as the affiliate, view to see, oh, well, is it due? So let's see. Nope, it's not due yet, right? So my next installment's not due until October 22nd. So I don't need to chase on that. Now, keeping in mind, YouLi does the automated chasing just like any other booking. So that's something that is really amazing about the way that we're doing affiliates, is that it's all the same functionality. So the affiliate gets to take advantage of the fact that there's all this information about their booking visible to them, as well as to the travel planner. And of course, for those of you who do use YouLi, the tracking information that you see here, as an affiliate, I only see the ones that are tracked from the affiliate source, from me. But if this were, the planner, of course, gets to see all sorts of different sources. They can see Facebook, they can see LinkedIn, they can see any other affiliates. So it's just about showing the right people the right information within the platform, but you're all looking at the same information. So there's that transparency and shared sort of all in one place, like Katie was talking about before. So let me just make sure I've covered, the very important final piece is how to embed on your website. But before we get that, I just want to stop and make sure, are there any questions on the affiliate referrals report?
Jen, we have a question from Lori. Actually, a couple questions. First is, can the affiliates manage payments, add manual payments, do refunds, and etc.?
They cannot at this point, because we assume that's kind of a little too far into your operations. And so the assumption is that you will be managing that, but they can see when the payment has been made and when it transitions from pending to received. Is that something you would want your affiliates to be able to do?
No, this was Lori. I asked the question. I didn't want them to be able to manage payments. So I didn't know what the trip board looked like. I'm like, oh no, there's too much. But yeah, that's perfect. They have read-only access to that.
That's it's a great question. That for you as a travel planner, there's a button here that lets you do all sorts of stuff. That button is not there for your affiliates. They can send a receipt. So if their customer says, oh, hey, can I get a receipt for that? They can come in and click send receipt. They can send messages that drives the customer back to the trip board. And they can, see the activity here. And then they can copy the magic link, view as them, and, print it sort of in case they want to sort of create a PDF and email it to their traveler. So yes, very good question. So the affiliates are definitely restricted in what they can do. And the idea is that they're getting this lead in for you. And they need visibility into the payment status, because that's what tells them whether or not they're actually earning their commission, but they shouldn't be able to sort of mark payments. Yeah. Great question. All right, so jumping back to the dashboard, the last one that I wanted to show you, the last sort of key feature. So you'll see that before I had clicked onto share trip link, and I had just copied this link. And this is something, you know, for those of you who use YouLi, you know, you can put this out on social media. You can check this box and it'll add the little it'll pop up the registration box immediately. So if you want to put that on a call to action button on your website, that's a great way to do that. But if you're, you know, that can be a bit of work. And we actually recommend pushing your affiliates to use the integrate with website feature. So that means that they can basically, you know, send you leads in your sleep and in their sleep, right? And this is especially good for anyone who's like a content creator and has a website and they just want to sort of recommend you. And they can either copy this one trip, which is just the one that we're seeing here, or they can get the code for all listed trips. And so that's those 4 that you see there. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Just going to jump to the other window. Can you guys see that? No, I'm going to have to reshare my screen. Hold on a second. Stop share and reshare. So here you guys can see this is an example of Rachel's trips embedded on her plug and play website. And you can basically get the exact same thing, but you can put it inside any blog. So for example, here's a blog that we've got, where can I travel right now, right? And it's just a little tool. You can enter your country and it'll tell you what the travel restrictions are. So what I've done is I've added into this blog a little extra bit that says choose a transformational trip. And then I've taken that snippet of code that I copied on that other screen and I've put it into an HTML block on this blog. And now all of Rachel's trips are automatically appearing. And so in my blog, I'm telling people, pick your transformational trip and then find out if you can travel there. So it's a silly little example of a kind of a blog that someone could write where they might embed your trips. And what's great about this is that if Rachel fills up one of these trips, she can pull it by unchecking the listed box and it will disappear from all of the affiliate websites where it is embedded. And that happens automatically without having to contact your affiliates. And if a customer clicks on the transformational travel link from that embed, you can see the company logo, right? So you can tell that this is the co-branded one. So you can tell that it's tracking correctly, but Rachel still gets any of her embeds, any of her websites, any of the links that she shares don't have the co-branding, right? So we control that to make sure that wherever one of your affiliates does the embed, those codes are tracked correctly, but that doesn't change the embeds that you have on your own sites. So you still get credit for the leads that you're bringing in and you maintain that control. I know I might have gone a little bit quick on that one because there's a bit of code in there. Does anyone want me to go into more detail on that?
Jen, I think it makes sense to answer the question from Roanna earlier.
Yep.
It's asking, could you copy the trip and set it for a specific affiliate's date, making the trip exclusive to one affiliate?
Yeah, I think that was the request that Katie had, sort of being able to actually restrict to that one affiliate. And at the moment, affiliates that are invited into your account can refer anyone onto a public and listed trip. So at the moment, we don't have this functionality, but it's sounding like a really great idea.
I'm thinking, what if we use the tagging in here and use that affiliate tag, and then only list the shops that are tagged with that affiliate? Wouldn't that make it exclusive to that person if they're only aware of that tag?
But it won't actually keep the other affiliates who are accessing the portal out of that trip either.
That's correct.
It has to work both ways in the functionality.
If you have a really trusting affiliate community, you can say to people, hey, please don't sell this one over here. And then you can have the one that you're targeting only do the single trip. So that's, instead of doing the embed all listed trips, it would be just embed this trip. And so then they would just do the one that you want them to promote. or potentially even just do a special blog post and then have a button that drives to this link. And so it would work in that way only if your community is very honest and you don't need the software to kind of, as Katie said, exclude the other affiliates from selling that one. But it is not outside out of the question. If that's how people are likely to use the affiliate feature, my thought is probably that would be something you would do within managed trip planners. So you'd actually control it within the trip to take a trip that's not public and listed and actually invite affiliates onto the sort of unlisted trips that you want them to sort of privately sell. So I think that's quite a neat idea. So thank you guys for bringing that one to my attention. What other questions do we have?
Jen, I was just going to share also that kind of how I come up with the 15% is I was working with a marketing company that was promoting me and they wanted 15%. So I built 15% into all of my trips after, so that no matter who, like it's not coming necessarily out of my pocket, it's built into the cost. So whatever people decide, whatever commission they decide to give, I would recommend building it into the cost.
Yes, completely agreed on that. And actually, that's one of the questions that we have for you guys. We've been wondering if we should allow, if you would want the trip pages that affiliates are referring to actually have a higher price on it, in which case it would be a different price for someone coming from your website as compared to someone coming through an affiliate link. My instinct is that could cause problems, but I would love to hear your thoughts if you ever felt like it would make sense to have a higher price for the affiliate trip pages. No one likes this idea. Okay, that's good to know.
Well, yeah, my inclination is that it adjusts the expectations on like a per person basis, because the reality is that a lot of us attribute value to the price tag. So if a client books with me for one of Rachel's trips and I've got an additional 20%, that person has that like additional 20% value expectation over someone that Rachel booked directly, right? Even though they're going to get the same experience. And it's, I have seen it work negatively in the past when some clients were kind of booked on a trip a little bit last minute because we needed spots to actually just make the trip happen, right? And so those spots were given away at a bit of a discount, and some clients were fairly PO'd that those last minute clients got a pretty good deal for the same thing. To me, it like taints the group experience in particular. I think it's different for like, let's talk about like a rafting company that takes, 3 different groups of people and puts them all in the same raft for an afternoon. Like it's not such a big deal. But when we're talking about these like big multi-day trips where people are spending a lot of time together, they're going to talk. And if somebody's got a really high expectation because they paid a lot more, and they start complaining about those expectations not being met, it will come out that somebody else paid less. And
absolutely. I think that was definitely my instinct. So it's good to hear that validated. That's why we didn't build it that way. And to us, it's a feature that your affiliates aren't, they can't mark up your trips, right? Like they're out there promoting your trip, but it's like you control what that content is, right? And so to the point,
this is the argument then for allowing those permissions, right? So that if I had a tour that I wanted to sell to Rachel, right, and I did want to allow her to mark it up, I can have those permission settings in my account saying that Rachel, as my affiliate, can do this thing, because basically what she's doing is she's buying that date from my tour operation to have exclusive access for 10 people, right? And so she's going to fill all those spots. And so she could then put a markup, for example, right? So if there are some permission roles that come out in the affiliate portal side, it could be something that planners could use to provide to, I'm really coming from the on the ground tour operator, right? Selling to someone like Rachel perspective, of course. But those are people who want to be here and they want to show up and they want to have an easy way to partner with people like Rachel to both expand their market share and also help these planners, right, offer more transformative experiences in other places too.
Well, isn't this interesting, right? Because it's thinking about all the different angles of this. So, you know, Rachel's the planner. She's the one who's, you know, bringing this group together and creating the transformation around that. But she needs to work with an operator on the ground, you know, for the gear, the local know-how, all that kind of stuff. And then she may yet also work with an affiliate. So it's like, you know, there are so many layers to the travel cake, right? So I really hope that you guys are excited to try the new affiliate feature. Jeff has a question.
Yeah, I was just going to say, would it be of interest as a future feature if as the operator, you're setting up the trip, that you could just automatically set a number of places that can be resold by your affiliates? So for example, obviously under this model, you are giving up margin to the person reselling the trip because you want your RRP to stay the same, as Katie said, because you don't want, you know, mid-trip someone says, well, I paid $3,500 to be here. This is wonderful. And the other person goes, well, I paid $5,000. And obviously you get a cranky customer. So because you're giving up the margin, you obviously, you know, there's a certain limit to the amount of seats you want to sell because it's eating into your overall profit margin. So would it be handy if when you're setting up trips, you go, right, on this trip, I'm happy for 5 of the 20 spots to be resold by an affiliate, or as a percentage, like, okay, I only ever want to sell 20% of the spots on all of my trips through my affiliate network. Would that be a handy feature?
Katie is saying yes. Per trip seats.
Yeah, Laurie's got
also
a thumbs
saying
up.
Yes. Excellent. And can you make the commission a flat dollar amount instead of a percentage is Laurie's other question. So we don't currently do the flat dollar amount. Could you talk me through when would a flat dollar amount be the right model? Is that typical or sort of unusual for you?
Well, I used to have a referral program before. Well, I don't have affiliates yet. That's what I'm thinking about. I have several Pied Piper or influencers that promote my trip for me. But I used to just do a referral program where I would give $100 per referral when someone books a trip. And so I was thinking of a flat dollar amount as opposed to the commission amount because someone said, like Jeff was saying, say if I only marked up, say if my margin on a particular trip is only 20%, right? Then, and that's 20% based on my cost. So I can't give someone a 15% off the total price. You know what I mean? Just doing the math. So my commission amount may be 5%, right? So if you say $100, look better than 5% or 10%. Sometimes the dollar amount for a trip that has, say if you're only selling a $3,000 trip or something like that, I don't know, sometimes the dollar, depending on the optics, $100 or 150 or whatever could look better than 5 or 10%.
Yeah, and to support Lori's argument too, looking at the potential, right? When you have a big following and you've got a really dedicated group of travelers and you want to, instead of offering people like a discount on a trip, I was talking about this with a client yesterday about, they're like, do I have a VIP program? And like, how do I, kind of maybe give back to my people who've traveled 3, 4, 5, 6 trips with me, right? If you have repeat travelers. So the dollar amount could really, I think, work really well in that model where these VIP clients of yours who've been on 5 plus trips or 3+ trips could also be added as an affiliate, but they get just like a $50 little snippet that they can then use kind of like towards their next trip. And it's not necessarily like a pay out. You don't actually pay them. They like store these little dollar amounts as like a credit towards their next adventure with you. So what that does is it forces them to invite all their friends to come on the same trip that they're coming on, right? It gives you that little nugget of like incentive to get them just to like push them over the edge to book. And then they store credit. So they do save a little bit on the next time they travel. So it could be a cool little incentive program built right into the system for travelers.
Yeah, and I used to do that, but it was all manual for me. You know, I had like a little spread. It was ridiculous. You know,
and it was so hard to keep track of.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm like, oh, what have you? So that's a good thing, because for those pipers that, like you said, there are two different programs. I'm starting to work with someone that has a blog, that would be truly an affiliate. But for those, you know, those people that comes on trip and just talk. You know, I've always been trying to figure out, what do I do for them? And sometimes it's, oh, nothing, just keep giving good trip. But after a while, you kind of want something, you know, like, you know, thank yous only go so far, you know, so, yeah. But yeah, I like that idea. Okay.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Which like does lead in, sorry, who did I interrupt?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm going back on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's actually really interesting and kind of makes me ponder how that could integrate with the apply credit feature, which some of you may have seen come out. It's a little bit hidden on the managed payments, you know, on the trip board. You can actually apply credits. And for those of you who are restarting or relaunching your business from, you know, back when you were, you know, you had amazing clients who said, yeah, keep it, I'll take it as a credit. And now finally 2022 is going to come and you're going to be able to give them that credit. So within the YouLi platform, you can actually click and apply credit. Now, we don't track that at the moment. That's in your spreadsheets. But, you know, that is something that I think makes a lot of sense. And this might be a really neat way to kind of move into that space, is tracking credits in the context of referral credits for future travel. So that's really great. I love sort of thinking about that. Again, another layer of the cake, right? So we're talking about not exactly affiliates. This is more like a referral program or a VIP or a credit. How would you guys call this if we were to sort of make this a proper feature? Maybe traveler credits?
Jeff messaged me and called it the Traveler Loyalty Program.
Traveler Loyalty Program. And Marcy, what are you thinking?
Well, a year ago, last summer, there was a large tour operator that I think it might have been Bamboo, that when bubble travel, everybody was talking about travel in your bubble, you know, and it's kind of, I think, coming back because people are like, well, what do we do now, right? We're going to travel with our people. So they were offering like, bring 5 of your friends, I think it was, and you travel free, or you travel half off. And I've often thought this just is so gold, you know, probably that number is a little too small for a lot of us small tour operators, but like bring 10 of your friends, kind of like Rachel was saying, she prepared something for one group, and then, you know, market it that way though to somebody. Hey, you have an idea, you have 5 friends, you'd have 8 friends, is that a possibility? And then offer them like 50% off that trip, or even a free trip.
So is that a traveler loyalty program, or that's even like one more step, which is that that trip is for them and their friends only, or is it just them and potentially others?
It could go either way. So it could be like a private trip, but marketed more as just adding to the group. So we're still a small operator. We travel with 25, but hey, you have 10 friends to go on this trip together. You get to go for free, or, you know, something like that. Yeah.
Travel bubble reward. I like that.
Right.
Well, yeah, so I love that this kind of sparks these ideas in terms of the way to kind of further spread. And I think that sort of fixed fee definitely, or the fixed commission, is definitely more approachable for folks. And especially if that's then credits or like just earning a spot on a trip. So I'll have to think about that a little bit more, just in terms of is that a separate thing, or is that just a special kind of affiliate? So that would be one thing for us to sort of consider. Like, would you guys, when you're managing this, would you think to yourself, oh, I'm going to manage my affiliates, which includes my traveling affiliates, like my sort of VIPs, my loyal customers, or would you think of them as like two different categories? Like my professional influencers that I pay X% commission to, that's a different thing. The people that I give rewards to, those are different, and they're not the same group of people.
I think, Jen, just like we do with our partner program, we have referral partners, which we call referral partners. But then again, we have customers who also refer us. And so we call them ambassadors. So, you know, you could call them your travel ambassadors, because they not only, you know, they travel with you, but they are referring you. So, and Kelly had a good point that she said that as it's your brand, you would like to obviously call your loyalty program, use your own wording if it was, you know, in the YouLi system. Yeah,
in terms of how that would appear to the travelers, you'd want to actually be able to do your own branding on that, right?
Yeah. So it could be like, you know, thanks for becoming a, you know, Earth and Soul travel ambassador, you know, and everyone you bring, you know, will earn you a $50 credit off your next trip, for example. So it's, I mean, it's adding a lot of complexity and detail into the platform, but that's what happens over time. But yeah, you could set up different types of affiliates. So, you know, you could have an ambassador affiliate, you could have a, you know, a referral affiliate, you know, you could have a travel agent affiliate, that kind of thing.
Excellent. Yeah. So I think Katie's sort of voting for two different programs here, kind of keeping them like one's a customer loyalty program and one's an affiliate program. And they're similar in their goals, but they're very different personas, right? In terms of who you're servicing there, right? So your loyal customer doesn't need to do co-branding on the trip page, right? And you don't have to manage the payouts and right, because you're trading in credits or loyalty rather than trading in money. So yeah, I can see how they are similar but different enough that they'd be sort of managed differently. I think, Stephen, I see you've turned your camera on. Did you have any questions or comments to add to the conversation? Oh, you're muted. I know it's always hard to find the unmute button. There we go.
My bad. Look, sorry about that. No, I'll just join the meeting, so I'm just in catch-up mode. If I just follow the thread as it's progressing, please.
That's all right. Well, we will be providing this recording after we wrap up. And I think this was an excellent introduction to the affiliate feature, and I really want to thank Rachel for donating her account for the demonstration so that we could show you guys what that looks like from the planner's perspective and then also from the affiliate's perspective. And so it is a feature that is available for all YouLi clients. So if you aren't already signed up, sign up, make some trips, create amazing content, check out Rachel's trips for an example of what really good trip pages look like, and then go ahead and request and we can turn on the affiliate feature for you. So it is something we have to turn on for you, but we're happy to turn that on once you've got some good content to share out there. And we always appreciate the feedback. This session was great. If anyone has any other comments or questions, I'm happy to stay on and take them. But if you need to drop off, you're welcome to do so. Hey, Dina. Good to see you. All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Oh, yeah, Katie also did a great thing by taking notes of this conversation in the Messenger chat. You'll see the link to that doc, so feel free to take a look.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Katie, as always. Yeah, and definitely check out Katie, Peak Flow She does incredible work advising operators how to make sure that their operations run smoothly. So one of those is affiliate agreements. And I've definitely taken a note to potentially include affiliate agreements as part of the invitation process. So lots of good suggestions, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do with this. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Jen. Bye.
Bye.